You were forewarned. I'm in the ranting mode tonight. So here is a rant by somebody named David Michael Green. And I have to say, in large part, I agree with this. And so I will read you, once again, some excerpts from somebody else's rant. This is probably going to be a two-parter, so if you don't want to hear it, please tune out now. You know, it's okay. Don't worry about it. The article is way too long to even post for me to read the entire thing. Plus, it would be, you know, in violation of fair use and all of this. And so I will at least make probably this video and another one concerning this particular rant. So basically, we're talking about a failed presidency here. There is only one political party in the entire world that is so inept, cowardly, and bungling that it could manage to simultaneously lick the boots of Wall Street, bankers, and then get blamed by the voters for being flaming revolutionary socialists. It's the same party that has allowed the opposition to go on a 30-year scorched earth policy, stealing everything in sight from the middle class and the working class voters, and yet successfully claim to be protecting real Americans from out-of-touch elites. It's the same party that could run a decorated combat veteran against a war evader in 1972, only to be successfully labeled as a national security wimps. To be sure, the exact same thing happened in 2004. 1 year ago today, there was a real question as to what could be possible in the future of the Republican Party in America. They were declared finished. That's changed a bit now. And speaking of change, the one kind that Barack Obama did actually deliver this year was not the one that most voters were having in mind after listening to him use the word incessantly during his 2008 campaign. Obama and his colleagues have now managed to bring the future of the entire Democratic Party into question. Just a year after it won 2 smashing victories in a row. Personally, I'm not bothered by that. Today's Democrats are, without exception, almost without exception, embarrassing hacks who deserved to get stomped a long time ago. What really upsets me is that these fools have allowed to be done what these fools have allowed to be done to the name of progressive policies and to this country. Barack Obama has now, in just a year's time, become possibly the single most inept president in American history. Certainly in my lifetime. Never has so much political advantage been pissed away so rapidly. And what's more, in the context of so much national urgency and crisis. It's astonishing, really, to contemplate how much has been lost in a single year. The election in Massachusetts was only slightly less inevitable than the sun rising in the east each morning. It was the product of an amazing collection of abysmal choices and practices over the last year that has produced a meltdown of equally amazing proportions for this president and his party. It's fitting that it comes on the anniversary of the president's inauguration, a moment filled with so much hope from many just a year ago. What has Obama done wrong in order to produce this devastating outcome? The short answer is just about everything imaginable. More specifically, he does not lead. Americans, especially in times of crisis, want their daddy president to pick a point on the horizon and lead them to it. Often, especially in the short term, they don't even care that much which this point is. They will happily follow a president whose policies they oppose if he will only lead. You could see this with Bush. And if he will demonstrate some conviction. I have never seen a president so utterly lacking in passion. This man literally doesn't even care about himself, let alone this or that policy issue. He doesn't he doesn't seem to have any strong opinions on anything. A sure prescription for presidential failure. Well, yes, now that you mention it, if you really want to bring your government crashing to the ground, why not spend endless months negotiating with vicious thugs who will never vote for your legislation anyhow, because they are so entirely devoted to your destruction that they're willing to call you a granny murderer. What a great winning strategy. And with this, part 2 of this video to follow.